All right, doublet making 101. Cooper PD material here. This is all from Onambi Opals. I look for thin pieces of opal, ones that are not obviously not big enough to make into solids. Looking for good crystal, good color bar, and then I'm obviously taking the skins off, trying to get to a nice flat piece. You want to try to get it to where it's clean. Try to get rid of inclusions. You really just want to try to get a nice clean thin bar. Same thing with the backing material. I typically use Boulder. Um, Most people want to use Potch, Black Potch, welder's glass, but I like Boulder personally. Doing the same thing with that, flattening it out, trying to get it all nice and uniform, getting it ready for that opal layer to sit nice and flat on top of it. And then I'll take the Boulder and I'll color one side of it. So like here, I've taken a Sharpie to these two pieces, basically just to get it ready for that opal to sit on top of. But I color the opal, or sorry, I color the Boulder to get it ready to go. Uh, Crappy video right here. This is my epoxy. So I use a two-part epoxy. Everybody does, or at least everybody that I know that does doublets uses two-part epoxies. Um, I can't remember the name of the one that I use. I'll have to look it up later if you guys want to see it. But I have a black powder that I use to color the epoxy. I also have a black liquid, and this one I used my liquid epoxy pigment. So mix it up, get it ready to go. You just got to spread it evenly on top of your backing material. Um, you definitely want to make sure you put enough on there. If you get it too thin, you won't have a good bond with the opal layer. Um, you know, you just got to get it a nice layer of epoxy on top of that backing. One thing I forgot to record, I do test my opal to see which side of it faces better. So if you have anything black, black surface, black plastic, whatever, wet it up, put your opal layer on top of that, flip it on top of that black piece of whatever, and see which side of that opal faces better. Once you have that, you can mark your opal, whatever you want, put a symbol on it. That way you know which side should be facing up when you put it on your backing material. Uh, Once it's on the backing material like it is here, you want to make sure that you're moving it around, wiggle it around, kind of like what you're seeing in this part of the video here. You just wiggle that thing around, try to get rid of the air bubbles as best you can. It's not going to be perfect, but the more you spend time at this stage right here, the better it's going to be. And then actually after about 30 minutes, after the epoxy is starting to set up just a little bit, I'll go in and wiggle it some more just to do what I can to make sure any separation that might have happened, I can take care of that. And so spend some time on wiggling that piece around, get air bubbles out as best you can. It'll help out big time later on in this process. So once it's all set after about 24 hours, you're good to go. At this point, you're good to shape it. You're good to cut the shape of the stone that you want, grind it up. You want to make sure that you're going in the direction of your wheel. You don't want to go against the direction like with your opal layer. So just in case, I don't know if that makes sense, but you don't want to run the risk of separating the opal from your backing material. So always make sure that you're not going against that grain and you're going with it as far as shaping your stone. So that's pretty much it. I mean, this is a matter of grinding, shaping, and then finishing and polishing your stone. You're pretty much in the home stretch at this point. One last thing is to definitely take the time to finish your backing as well. You don't want it to be too thick when the opal layer is thin. You want to try to keep it uniform. It just looks aesthetically, it just looks better to have it all uniform. So if my opal layer is super thin, I'm not going to have a backing that is super thick. I try to keep them pretty close to each other as far as thickness goes. So here are the finished stones. Hopefully this was helpful. If you have any questions, just let me know.